Little Piece of Nothing. I think I've played that song more than any other song in the last couple of years. I think it's magical. I used it in Afterlife. You probably know that. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Just something about it. I don't know. Some songs just make you feel funny. That's probably because I'm fat and old. I feel funny all the time. And so when you see like symptoms for stuff, right? If anyone tells me something that there's something wrong with them, I get the symptoms. Sometimes immediately, right? I think hypochondria is a disease, right? But the thing is, like, symptoms sort of like, oh, sweaty, out of breath, you don't feel very well, you're a bit achy, you're a bit fed up, right? I wake up every day. I wouldn't know if I was ill, because every day I wake up and go, am I ill? Am I fucking ill? No, you're just fat and old, tired and stressed. So, I don't know. I mean, most of the time, it is just that. But I'm like the boy who cried wolf 350,000 times. Oh dear. I thought I'd do one of these. Got a night off. You might notice I don't look as hot and sweaty as usual because I had a bath, but I put too much cold in and I'd filled it. It was too late to put hot in. When I say too much, I probably had a bath like most normal people have and call it a hot bath. But I like mine, I put me on a hot wash. So I didn't sweat in the bath. I don't think you're meant to. I don't think a bath is meant to be like a workout. Well, you got some questions, and I want to tell you about some things, run some things by you. Welsh Felix, how was recording Supernature gone? Do you get involved in the editing? Well, yeah, I go in the edit, obviously. I've been in today. It went great. I recorded it over 2 nights at the Palladium. Both nights were really great. I thought the night after we'd filmed it was better, but I think every comedian in the world thinks that. Yeah, every comedian who's ever recorded a special, DVD, HBO, Netflix, they go, the night after they've recorded it, they think they were better. And you might be, because you're more relaxed. Although the first night, I sort of nailed it. Then the second night, I thought I'd go crazy. And I thought the second night was better. But in the cold light of day, the first night was better, actually, because I was concentrating and trying to get it right. And in my head, that seemed sort of stunted and false and not natural. But because I've done it so many times, it was. And the second night that I thought was great, I thought was like a bit self-indulgent. Like, it looked like I didn't care too much. It was too swaggery and throwaway. So it's funny that I think it's nearly all the first night. But it went great. It's edited. It'll be ages before it comes out for lots of reasons. They've got to dub it. I want to do some more gigs. So don't hold your breath. But yeah, it's. I think it's the best one I've done. You'll be the judge of that. Leopold and Loveday. Do you get fluffier in the winter like we do? Like cats. Show us your floof, uncle. No, I've got hair there. Losing it on top, getting it on the back. What I'm losing on the head, I'm gaining on the back. The barber doesn't know when to stop. When he does the scrapey thing at the back of the neck, sort of pulls the jumper out and he thinks, he could go all the way down to my legs, but he doesn't. He just does like an inch. So I'm getting fluffy with age. No, but we do get a bit fatter. I think the average person puts on like 5 pounds in winter. We don't have to. That was probably part of our ancestry where we chunked up a bit for winter. I mean, you do feel, you put on weight, not just because you eat more, but because you sleep more. You go into a semi-hibernation, and we don't hibernate because we were sort of like hunter-gatherers and foragers, and we built fires and stuff. But we do get a little bit fat. That's an excuse really, isn't it? Just people start eating from October. So I don't think we get hairier. But I'm not a doctor. Claire, my question is, can you give us a clue to any of the music that will be used in the soundtrack for Afterlife 3? I can. I won't tell you the tunes, but I'll tell you the artists. And right, so 10cc, Bob Dylan, Radiohead, Joni Mitchell, maybe some artists you haven't heard of, Hammock, Andy Burroughs, who did the sort of score. Now, oh wow, yeah, this is interesting. I wrote a song with Andy Burroughs for Afterlife, and that's not in the show, but the instrumental of it is, because the music's really good, and we've recorded it, and I've even cut a sort of unofficial video to it, but I'm worried about putting it out because I'm embarrassed about it, because it's a real song. I can put out ironic songs as David Brent, but I haven't written a serious song in 40 years. So I'm thinking, what if it's crap? But it's not. I mean, it's really good. And it sort of is it's not me being me. It's a song sort of Afterlife, and Andy's singing. So it's not, I wouldn't even have to tell anyone I'd written it. But still, there's something in it when you're being serious, you're worried about the critical reaction more than if you're being stupid. Because if you're being stupid and you're like, someone goes, that's rubbish, you go, oh, I don't give a fuck. But if you're being really serious and someone says, that's rubbish, you go, oh, fuck, is it? And also, the music means so much to me, and there are so many just brilliant artists that I'm in awe of. For me to suddenly go, I can do that, it's... But I might put it out. It's called Just Three Things, and yeah, I'll think about it. Tony, would you ever perform stand-up in Vegas? Maybe doing a short-term residency? I did look into it, actually. And then the world went tits up. I'd like to go just to say I played it, but I don't know. I mean, I'd like if it was just like people from Las Vegas, but I think when you play Las Vegas, I think the point of it is the world comes to you. You stay there in a big venue, like if you're Adele, and the world comes to you. And I like the idea of that if I lived in Las Vegas. But to go there for a long time is a bit weird, because I might as well just go to the world, you know what I mean? And I don't want it to be holiday makers who just thought, oh, he's on. I want it to be fans. So I might as well just go to them. If I was going to a residency, it would make more sense to do it in, what I did. In London, I do a residency. I did like a month at the Palladium, a couple of Wembleys. Loads of warm-ups, but I guess I would like to go to see what it's like. I'm sort of more interested in the surrounding the desert. I think in Las Vegas, I look at it and I go, oh yeah, it's amazing, but then I think, then what? But I would like to see the desert. That would be good. Paige, would your mum and dad have been flabbergasted by how successful you had become? They wouldn't have shown it. I mean, they my family don't think... I think it's funny, but they don't... They never think, oh, that's Ricky's on the telly. They just think, that's that fat idiot Ricky. My brother or my uncle. Like you do. You don't respect me anymore because I'm an international megastar, probably the world's biggest comedian at the moment. You don't respect me for that. You think I'm a fat idiot, don't you? I've let you get too familiar. So imagine that. Imagine what you think of me, and times that by about 10 with my family. They think less of me than you. Oh dear. I used a quote from the head of Live Nation who said I was Britain's biggest comedian in the world. I thought that would annoy the others. I'd use that straight away. I asked him first, so can I use that quote? And he went, yeah. So you put that out straight away, just to annoy other comedians. I will never grow up. I will never grow up. Luke, what do you do in your spare time? I refuse to wear glasses. I refuse to lean forward. That's how lazy I am. So I squint. What do you do in your spare time? Do you ever consume media, books, or are you always working on new material other than spending time with the family? I sort of do both. I've always got my laptop with me. I'm either doing shit like this. Most of my spare time, if I'm not working, is probably watching, foreign drama on Netflix. The rest of the day, the day's filled. I get up, I have breakfast, we go for a long walk, I do a bit of work, a couple of hours maybe. I have lunch, I try and have a little snooze, a little nap. Then I get up, do a little bit more work. And by work, I mean if I'm doing something, I'll spend 2 hours in the edit or 3 hours in the edit. But if I'm not, I'll spend 20 minutes writing or thinking about shit. The day seems to go. I fill my days. And then I work out. 3 o'clock, I'm already thinking, once I have a workout and a bath, that's night time. Then I'm having a drink and having dinner and watching Netflix. So yeah, that's the only sort of media I consume, I suppose, like those Scandi or foreign dramas on Netflix. And I don't really read unless I'm looking something up, like for the podcast with Sam Harris, or watching something on YouTube, learning. But even that, I would be doing it anyway, but I consider that sort of work because it might spark something, it might spark a question or a podcast episode. And I like to be a bit informed. Freya, what has been your favourite show or venue for Supernature so far? Oh, that's so difficult. Everyone's been, it's been amazing. Dublin was incredible, it always is. Wembley was off the chart. Or, London Palladium is one of my favourite venue in the world now. But everywhere has been great. Like Leeds, that was just like the first big one back after the pandemic, and it was mental. I was so pleased to. It was like, as I told you, it was like overwhelming. Just the beautiful welcomes and. What have I? I did notice how good Paris is. It called Olympia? That was amazing vibe. My favourite venue. Sometimes I get mixed in with because you think of the gig is like an hour and a bit of my life. The city has something to do with it. I just love being in wonderful places, and you get that sort of that residue, that feeling like, I'm in a lovely place and everyone's lovely. But the cold light of day. I mean, Dublin is always great. Leeds was off the charts, and London Palladium. But I'm sure I feel that about all of them. I just haven't had a bad one. People have been amazing. Philly Annie, when you were a child, did you have a favourite toy or stuffed animal, or most memorable Christmas gift you received? A couple of people have asked me about my best Christmas gift ever. I remember that. Subbuteo. It was about 12 when I got it. I didn't get a look in. It was too small. They put the dining table out and just all my brothers and sisters were playing. I was like that, trying to play with my own Subbuteo. G'day, the brat. Fuck off. I don't think I had any cuddly toys. I had an Action Man. I used to play with him in the bath, make him dive and like put his hands like that, so when he dived in, he came up. Pathetic. Oh, I can remember one sort of cuddly toy I had, and it wasn't really a toy. It was a panda with a zip where you stuffed your pyjamas in it. Yeah. I didn't cuddle it. Just stuffed the pyjamas in it. Monsieur Dougal, do you think it's possible to write a series of what is essentially an outtake show, but without writing a proper show? That's interesting. And just compiling the outtakes. Well, you need a structure for it to be a show, because you can watch outtakes and they're great and they're addictive and you can watch them again. But I don't think you could watch 3 hours of them. We probably could, if they're good enough. Well, we probably get about 3 hours of outtakes, but you know, I take out too many repetition. I take out things that are just accidents, like those things that if someone goes through the door and it doesn't open, I take that out because that's not funny. It's no one's fault, you know, unless they bang their head. Then I'll leave it in. So I take out those things and take someone just getting a line wrong if there's nothing funny going on, or doing it again, or missing the mark, or I take those out. I'm usually there for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the best ones, which is usually where a scene is so funny or ridiculous that no one can get through it. That's what I think is an outtake, where you're trying to do it right, but you just can't because you're laughing. And it just goes further and further back. You can see the fear, they're coming up to the line they can't do. So that's my idea of what an outtake is. And that's funny, but it's only funny because you know what they're trying to do, if you know what I mean. So it's funny in context. I suppose what I could do is do a thing that would be live, and so you had to leave in the mistakes. That would be quite interesting. So, if you had to choose, would you rather be a lovely fluffy kitten or a cute bouncy puppy? Both get lots of attention. They're both amazing, aren't they? To be one, I feel pretty vulnerable as a kitten, whereas a puppy, it still has a go, doesn't it? I think I'd choose a puppy. I'm thinking of a baby Labrador when you say that, like a 12-week-old Labrador that can't even fucking walk straight, just trips over its fucking ears. I'd be like, I'd be that. I'd be a baby Labrador. That's a nice question, isn't it? Dino, my question is, what is your most important piece of advice for life? Why are you asking me? Doing what you love so you never work again, yeah, is a given. So it can't just be, that would have been it, wouldn't it? Try and do what you want. Oh, that's so tough. Well, obviously, I think the secret is you just want to be happy, whatever that is. If you're happy, you've won. So do the things that make you happy. That's not very good. That's obvious, though, isn't it? Oh, that's so difficult. I mean, know that every day you live, every day is a bigger percentage of the rest of your life. So fill it with stuff. Just whatever makes you happy, I think, without hurting anyone, obviously. If you're a serial killer, don't do whatever makes you happy. Get some help. But if you're not hurting anyone, do what makes you happy. I go for a walk every day just to meet dogs. It sets me up. It's like my heroin. If I talk about this in my stand-up, but if I've met 10 dogs, some of which I know, and they run over to me and they're happy to see me, that's the day. That's set up. That's like I've taken my pills. That's like my happy pills, playing with a dog in the morning. So that do what you do whatever you like doing until you die. I play tennis once a week. It's my favourite thing. And obviously now I hurt for longer after tennis because I'm old and decrepit, but I refuse to not try my hardest still and play tennis, and I love it. And even when it gets to the point where I play tennis, I can hardly play, and I ache for a week until I play, I'll still play tennis. I play tennis in pain. I play tennis with a back strap on when I hurt my back. I've got a fucking thing on my elbow, tennis elbow, blisters, plasters. I've got a thing on my foot because whatever my bunion thing is. I will play tennis until I fucking die, because it's so much fun. I love it. So just because something's painful, there's no reason not to do it. Is that good advice? I think so. I don't know. Yeah. Well, Gunnar asked me a question, but he couldn't make it. I think he said, can I sing For Emily Wherever I May Find Her by Simon & Garfunkel in Art Garfunkel's range? And the answer is amazingly yes, because I used to sing. I was a choir boy, and I used to sort of sing a bit like him, so I can sing that song. Wouldn't be as good. In fact, the first song I played live with my friend when we were about 14 or 15 in a pub, we learned Kathy's song by Simon & Garfunkel. I couldn't even play it on the guitar. My mate played it, and I sang it with him. So been a huge Simon & Garfunkel fan all my life. I don't know. That's answered the question, isn't it? So, thanks for following. Thanks for retweeting. Thanks for being. It's Giving Tuesday today, isn't it? So I've tweeted a few things. Have a look. Thanks for watching the little viral I did with the best friend. It shows how important Brandy is in series 3. I hope you got to see me live. If not, look forward to seeing that on Netflix. Don't know when. Fucking ages. That's about it, really, isn't it? And I might be brave enough to put out this little trailer with a song I wrote with Andy Burroughs. But I think about that. Oh, recommendation. Another recommendation. Witch Hunt. I think it's Water Presents. It's either Water Presents or Netflix. It's brilliant. It's about this woman who works for a law firm. And there's no spoiler. It starts with she finds something that's a bit dodgy. And so her life falls apart when she's sort of like a whistleblower. And it's all about justice. And it's like this poor woman who's in this sort of like misogynistic boy club. It's horrible. It's just like, it's so horrible and corrupt and closed down, and the methods they use to sort of shut her up and discredit her. I mean, it's fantastically done. And it's awkward because obviously even her family sort of don't want the consequences of her being. All she wants to do is the right thing. She's got integrity, but it's versus. That's what integrity costs. So it's all about that. Beautiful performance, beautifully written. Genuinely, it's fucking great. Witch Hunt. Is it Swedish? Danish. I think it's Danish. But yeah, check it out. And only watch it in Danish with English subtitles. Whenever I recommend something, only ever watch it in that language with English subtitles, if you're English. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Be nice to animals. You know the score. Cheers. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.